So why is hacking so problematic for me? I feel I should explain that. Because there can be accidental damage, it doesn't have to be on purpose. I've had apologies when I was still living in Portsmouth because the noise, the sound on my computer would always be very much degraded. That's because the hacking causes extra circuits. I think it's called ground loops. But there's also a lot of stuff that's done on purpose because the person who does this just can't help himself. For example, on my 60th birthday, he wiped out two grant proposals. They had been on my computer and they had been as a backup on my stick. And before I shut down the computer, I checked that it was on the stick, and it was on the stick and on the computer. And the following morning, start of my birthday, although it was technically already my birthday when I shut down my computer, both files were gone. I've recently realized that this was a kind of joke. I was turning 60, so no more proposals for me, because I've had a lot of that sort of stuff in the past 15 years. But that is not what I'm upset about. What I'm upset about is that I know that grant proposals are often submitted in a great rush. And when errors get introduced into a proposal by a hacker, by accident or on purpose, it can cost my client a lot of money. And I wasn't willing to risk that. So I told my client, sorry, I can't work on this. And I've stopped working on grant proposals because that's just not doable. It's happened that I was working on something for someone who has mild dyslexia, and this was in LaTeX. And the file acquired a virus that garbled up the letters. There was another time, many times actually, after I told someone that if she uses the word track changes feature, it can lead to corrupt documents. And after that, all I got was corrupt documents, which means that it takes you 2-3 times longer to create a proper document again from the corrupt document. There's been a lot of stuff like that over the years. It means that you can't support yourself anymore. I know that the person who's doing this can't help himself. This is just who he is. This is part of neurodiversity. But I'm absolutely totally powerless, and it is a very high risk for anyone I'm working with in whatever capacity. And that's been my big problem. Apart from the fact that he's also often very deliberately blocked me from interacting with various parties, for example, because he felt that I shouldn't be working for, say, Amazon or an Amazon related company, or that he didn't want me to make the money because if I had the money, then I might be able to escape. What goes on in the minds of people like this is that they're often terrified that you'll disappear, that they lose their grip on you because they're so desperate to have you in their lives. It's actually not about you, it's often the idea that they have somebody around. It's actually even more complicated than that, because these can be script kiddies or people who are associated with script kiddies on 4chan, people who can be pretty naive, frankly, pretty gullible. They could also accidentally introduce ransomware in anything that I work on.